Hello
Hi,
there.
Jeff. How you doing?
I'm good. Yes. Sorry. Can we take a picture?
Huh?
Yep, ready? Three, two, one. Gotcha.
Thank you. Yes. I had the pleasure of speaking to you last year.
That's why you look familiar.
Yes, but I was using it on my phone. I'm using it on my Chrome this time, so it should be a lot clearer, and whatnot. How are you doing, by the way?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing great. I'm in California right now. It's got blue skies. There's no wind. It's not hot, not cold. So it's kind of like a great day to be here. Um, and I feel really good. And I'm not sure what state are you in.
Manchester in the UK.
Oh, okay, the UK. Oh wow,
Yeah.
you're way over there. Okay, yeah, because
Okay.
my wife and we just got our shots, so we feel really good.
Oh, that's fantastic. My mother's actually getting mine next week, so that's good.
Yeah,
Um, I hope you don't mind if I delve straight into the questions, if that's okay.
yeah. Go ahead.
Wonderful. Okay, my favorite episode it's a double part. It's the Time Fugitives. I just
Yes,
I love how it deals with the whole butterfly effect of time travel. That certain things that you do that you think are for good actually have adverse effects.
yes,
And also with Time Fugitives, it dealt with the legacy virus, which was the Marvel equivalent of the AIDS virus.
yes.
So my question would be, what are your memories on working on that episode, and how do you feel that it has just as much of a impact back then and even now?
I am very. I was very proud of working on the Time Fugitives episode. It was like actually one of my most difficult episodes, and the reason being is that when they gave me the script for part one and part two, I had to send it out to into production at the same time. And so when I got part two back, when they it was a time loop because it went back to the same time situation. When in part two, none of the images matched. It was nothing matched part one. So when they went back to the future where they confront Bishop, I had to redraw that entire sequence, which involved about another 40 pages of drawing, which is 3 panels to a page. So it was like 120 drawings I had to restage to make it work. And so when you watch part two, you'll notice they don't talk because I couldn't have them re-record anything. So it was all me restaging and stuff. It turned out really great, but man, it was a lot of work. Now the fact that it reflects on the AIDS virus, yeah, I didn't back then it was the AIDS virus, and now it's COVID. It's like I did not expect this to have relevance this far into the future because that was back in like 94. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
But it's no, I am that's one of my top favorite episodes is the Time Fugitive stuff. Besides the Phoenix and Dark Phoenix stuff, Time Fugitives. But my first favorite is actually going to be the season one, episode 13, because you got to back then we had no guarantee for a second season. So that last episode, I put my heart and soul into it. I said, okay, this is my last time I'm going to be able to work on the X-Men, and so I just poured everything I had into it. And when we had finished, the writers and me, we all had our resumes. We were going to go find other work until at the last minute they said, "Don't go anywhere. We got a season two." And so that to me was the episode I really liked the most because that was my last shot at doing the X-Men. So those I guess those three, yeah, Time Fugitives, the Phoenix stuff, and episode 13, the final decision.
Yeah. Something I liked about Time Fugitives was it's kind of reminiscent of the Terminator with Cable and Bishop
Oh yeah,
fighting. Like I
yes,
loved it. Like, um, But yes, it is my favourite episode, bar none. I hope you don't mind for delving into my next question.
Okay.
Okay. The episode Cold Hearts, it had Iceman, it had X Factor.
Oh yes, that's right. Yes.
Yes. There's an epic fight with the X-Men and X Factor, particularly Cyclops and Havoc.
Yes.
And watching that episode, to me, it almost felt like a hook for a spin-off. Was there ever any talk of doing X Factor?
No, none at the time. No, because they were right now. All the focus was just on the X-Men, but it was more of a by showcasing them within one episode. We were trying to get them to maybe look at them, maybe bring them back for another episode. The problem we had was that the networks would only give us like, okay, you got a season 2, 13 episodes. You got a season 3, 13 episodes. They wouldn't give us like, okay, you're going to have 3 years. You're going to have 36 episodes. If they had said something like that, we could have planned for it in the sequence. But given us only these little chunks, myself and the writers, we would sit down and have a plot. Okay, how are we going to begin this sequence and end it? What was it? Xavier, Magneto, and the Savage Land, and then that culminates into like a two-parter at the end. We were trying to build something so that everything's connected, but because they didn't give us like a 2-season pickup, we were kind of stuck with trying to get to point A to point B.
Yeah, I mean, it is one of those. I do find it a shame, but it didn't take away from the show whatsoever. Absolutely love the show. Still holds up even now at the age of 34. I'll watch it even more. Yeah, seriously. Like
all my fans are in their 30s.
But there was you worked with Stan Lee on Marvel Productions. In fact, if I remember correctly, he also did the narration for Pride of X-Men, which was your first pilot. Do you have any memories of Stan Lee that stick?
Oh yeah, I mean, I worked with Stan at Marvel Productions for like 10 years, and then I worked for him again when he had his own company called Stanley Media. What I tell most people about Stan is that there's 3 Stan Lees that I got to meet, and usually it's never a combination, but on certain days he'd come to work, he was Peter Parker, which means he could talk like you and I are doing right now, and he's just talking like a regular person. Then there is J. Jonah Jameson, where he come in and he's grouchy, he had a fight with his wife, I don't know what's going on, but he'd be grouchy, and you learn to avoid him because no. And then there's Spider-Man. He would come into work, and sometimes you're talking about the shows. And back then, he was a lot younger. I mean, literally, here's a guy who would stand in the chairs on our tables. Look, Spider-Man stands like this, and the fingers got cut like this, and he's got his post. He would be acting out stuff on our tables in chairs, and we're going like, whoa. I mean, we're in our 20s, and this guy's jumping around the table like he's a, crazy man. But he really got into the character. And so for me, that's Stan Lee's one of those 3 guys. In most cases, they're very distinctive, but that was Stan Lee for me. And on any given day, the days when he's Peter Parker, you could just walk up, talk to him, and no big deal, I feel very blessed. I was able to just walk down the hallway and I could ask Stan a question and get an answer. It was like, and as a kid, I was reading all of the comic books, reading him and Jack Kirby, to actually work with my mentor, the guy that inspired me to get into business. It was like a kid in the candy store, man. It was like I was in heaven,
Wonderful, yes. I'm on Facebook. I'm in particular groups, and one of the posts that put up was actually of you. It was about all your achievements, all your TV shows, everything that you've done. So I think my question would be, given how you did a TV show that was about heroes and whatnot, how does it feel that for a lot of people that are in the 30s now and people that are still starting to watch the show, How does it feel to actually know that you're those people's heroes?
You know, at the time, it feels good. It feels good if I was able to be a good part of your childhood, because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to entertain an audience, but I also want to try and inspire people who saw my work, for them to become, like I am, to become an artist, to become, or inspire them to become whatever they wanted to be. But that was always my goal, was to pay it forward, to try and do stuff that would be a part of your childhood, the good part of your childhood, to help. And I tell you, from the time the show went off the air until Disney Plus picked it up, I thought people forgot about the show, because nobody talked about it. Marvel disowned it. I mean, we were like the bastard child. They didn't even want to acknowledge until Disney Plus picked it up. Yeah, we went on tour, I think in 2016, myself, the writers, and some of the voice actors, and Marvel wouldn't give us any publicity because X-Men was owned by 20th Century Fox. And so they didn't want, I mean, they even canceled some books. They didn't use the word mutant anymore. They used the word Inhumans, just to get away from supporting the X-Men stuff. But once Disney Plus came in and got us, now we're back. Hey, we're part of the family. Hey, that's cool.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and it's good. It's good to have you part of that family. Okay, yeah, I think we've only got 30 seconds left. 34. I just wanted to say it's an absolute pleasure to talk to you, and because I talked to you the first time, but it was a 5 minutes one, and kind of like Pride of the X-Men, this was like my second chance to ask more questions.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
But it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, even more so the second time, and I hope with all the changes in America that you get a post-Sentinel Senator Kelly rather than a Graydon Creed as president.
Oh, that'll be fun. Oh man, yeah. The one thing I wish that Disney does for us is that I hope that I keep talking to them. I haven't heard anything, but we're still here, the voice actors. I'd like to try and do like maybe one more episode, so we can do some of the things that we didn't get a chance to the first time, and like Cyclops and his brother, finding out their brothers and then meeting their father. That's the one thing I wish we had gotten to, but we couldn't figure out a story that worked to bring, like when they shot their powers and they couldn't figure out why it didn't work. We didn't have a chance, and there wasn't a chance in that story to bring that point up, because the point was Iceman. It wasn't about the brothers. And so, by having, let me do that. Let me add some time. So we had a chance to do that. That would be, that's one of the things we want to do. So let me add some time to this again. Is there any other questions before?
No, I think that pretty much covers everything.
Okay.
You take care.
Okay, take care. And I like the George Busa picture behind you. The X-Men.
He's wonderful.
Yeah.
He's wonderful. Yeah, absolutely wonderful.
It's a wonderful actor too. Love him.